Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Kottabos Space Program, where today we are having a look at the SA-23 Starfury mod, which is being made by forum user Stinky Ace. And this is yet another of the wonderful sci-fi show slash movie ship mods that Stinky Ace has been releasing as of late, and this one holds a particular place in my heart as I am a huge fan of Babylon 5. I grew up watching that show and still have all the DVD box sets, and in fact, I even long ago on this channel built my own Starfury out of stock parts in this game. I'll try and link it here in the video if I can remember. And yeah, so having a properly made awesome looking Starfury here in Kerbal Space Program now, well, that just makes me happy. So let's jump right on into the spaceplane hangar and have a look at what this does add in. Now let's go to our Janitor's Closet mod filter, leaving on a Skunkworks, and we will build our Starfury out of 3 individual parts. The first is the Starfury hull, which is of course a one-man command pod with a minimum of 1 crew member to operate, does have a built-in data transmitter, a very cheaty generator as with the Star Trek shuttles we looked at of Stinky Aces a while back, where we're producing a crap load of electricity, oxidizer, monopropellant, liquid fuel, etc. per second. Basically, you'll never run out of anything. It also, of course, does have a reaction wheel, and then tiny little fuel tanks built in just so that there's something there. And as for the part itself, oh, it's beautiful, and even has the Kerbal pilot right in there. Now, it's a little bit interesting of a flight suit, but you know what? Still cool to see the Kerbal inside of the cockpit. Now, there are 2 different attachment points on the interior of this thing. One of them goes to the wings here, which are in the fuel tank category, and they don't actually have a fuel tank in them whatsoever, but they just click right on into the body so that we do have those beautiful X-shaped wings of the Starfury. And then if we go into the engines category, we have the Starfury engines, which will produce 500 maximum kilonewtons in a vacuum with an ISP of 310, but again, that really doesn't matter with the generators creating infinite fuel for this thing. But they do also have RCS built in, which is quite useful. I mean, that was always one of my favorite things about that show. I always loved when the Starfuries would flip around to shoot behind them. It was just wonderful. And they, of course, go into the second attachment point that is on the interior of the cockpit there, so that we do have our beautifully built Starfury. And my god, it's gorgeous. I love this thing, and I really want to make, like, a Babylon 5 station now, just chock full of loads of these. It would be wonderful. Though, with my luck, I'd never be able to build it correctly. But hey, we have at least the awesome Starfury here. So, yeah, not really much else to show with this. It's 3 parts that build an awesome fighter. So let's go take a look at this thing out in the world, and I do have one on the runway to show off some of the different and unique parts to this thing, and yeah, to kind of show some of the interesting features. Now, of course, we could just release from this stability enhancer and take off using the extraordinarily powerful engines, but we actually have another option here. If we do click on the wings, we actually have an anti-gravity generator on this thing. And if we turn it on and then release ourselves from the stability enhancer, as you can see, we float. Oh god, let's turn on SAS for control, and also tab for fine-tune controls. There we go. But we have a beautiful little slow-moving Starfury. Now we can keep it at a regular altitude, because right now if we actually do tilt up or down, we will raise or lower our altitude. But if we activate, oh boy, there we go, almost hit the ground. If we activate hover mode it tries to keep us at a sort of general altitude here. As you can see, it's kind of bouncing back and forth between 128 and 129. And with this, you know, you can flip around, have some fun, and if you had, say, BD Armory, you could shoot behind you, and then flip back forward and continue flying, deactivate hover mode rather, and then adjust altitude accordingly. And that's, of course, with the anti-gravity system here. Now, we can just completely turn off the anti-gravity by doing that, and then turn on the engines. And these, as you can see, will get us moving very quickly. Beautifully quickly. And, yeah, you'll get into space really quick with this thing. I mean, granted, the Starfury is not meant for atmospheric flight, but nonetheless, oh god, we're heating up. There we go. Let's just turn that down. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece of sci-fi construction. I always loved the Starfury, and having a properly built one here in Kerbal Space Program now, well, frankly, just makes me happy. It's just cool. So if you, like me, are a big fan of Babylon 5 and would enjoy having a lovely and just awesomely built Starfury, you can take a look at the link in the description to download this for yourself, and I would definitely say to go take a look. But yeah, that's really it for today's video, folks. I hope you all have enjoyed, and of course that you do come back for the next. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!